how can you get the best from your team in COVID times when everybody's scattered around and disconnected and disenfranchised perhaps by video screens and technology and distance and a virus? How do we get beyond that? I think the answer is the same as during non-COVID times. It's about connection. It's about being there for your people. It's about setting a vision that they buy into, that they've had something to do with planning. Ideally, it's about compassion and care and taking care of your people and helping them build resilience as a community, as a team. It's all the business as usual in unusual times. The military talk about VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous times, and we're very much in that. And the antidote to VUCA, they also say, is VUCA, vision, understanding, cohesion equals agility. That is, setting the vision, making sure people know where they're going, even in the short term, is vital. Understanding, having everybody understanding their role and responsibility in delivering that vision. And then working on the team, the teamship, morale, connection, communication. So the conversations that need to happen. And that way you get agility. That way you survive and thrive in uncertain circumstances. How do we make it personal? How do we achieve motivation without external motivation? Somebody sort of pushing us on while we work in a more socially distanced way, perhaps atomized maybe by technology. I think first it's important to understand that motivation never really comes from it without. Intrinsic motivation is what we really want. And I think what I urge is know thyself. Check in with thyself, make sure that you're living the life that you really want. I think a lot of people had a lot of time for reflection over these times, and also a chance to design their life, their circumstances, where they live, city or country, because of some of the advantages perhaps that have come from technology, not for everybody, but for some. And I think that gives us some opportunities to decide our environment. Performance equals capability times behaviors, and we want to create the environment around our behaviors in order to bring out the best in ourselves. So I sort of challenge you, know thyself. What's the best environment for you? It's going to bring out the behaviors that allows you to achieve your best results in whatever endeavor you choose to do. The main obstacles leaders face currently, the same as everybody else: COVID and the consequences of that, both social and economic. I think it's going to be with us in one way or another for a long period of time. I think from a cultural team point of view or organizational point of view, I think one of the key challenges is and is going to be around that level of connection that people feel with the organization, with the culture of the organization. It's an atomized world in a way, and what we're starting to see is retention levels drop as people's life choices kind of open up in front of them. So I think one of the great challenges for leaders is, if people can work for anyone, why should they work for you? What have you done for them lately? There will be many times that in the war for talent, that sense that if we're not working together, we're not really work together, is going to weaken a lot of bonds, is weakening a lot of bonds, and we're seeing it already for those for talent that can move. And so I think attracting, retaining talent is going to be, although there are going to be a lot of people looking for jobs, really in the end, finding a culture that attracts and retains talent, I think, is going to be vital. Leaders who want to create more bonds with team members at a time where those connections are sort of dissipated a little bit, I think there are two kind of modes that you might think about. The first one is a leader as a storyteller. In a way, leadership now is about uniting many people in many different time zones and many different places and many different bed sits, many different kind of converted offices out of upstairs lofts, wherever everybody is working. What holds all of that together? How can you be the storyteller? How can you create that vision? And I think in that level, it's kind of leadership plus 20%. It's being yourself, but also generative, as a leader and getting that story out. The second is kind of leaders as teachers, or what I call the coach CEO. Now more than ever, we need culture. The beginning of the word culture is the idea to cultivate, to create environments in which people flourish. In difficult times, we need those environments more than ever. So leaders as teachers, leaders as coaches, there to bring out the best in people and have them become what they, as Goethe said, capable of becoming. I think that leaders as teachers, leaders as storytellers, that inspiring human side of things, I think is required to unite and inspire a group of people and help them, as I say, survive and thrive in difficult environments. Resilience, a key word at the moment, or a key concept for people at the moment. I think one of the best lines I've heard is that pressure is a privilege. Though we're under pressure, all of us in many different ways, in many ways, it proves that we're up to something, that we're doing something with our lives, that we're meeting the challenge and so on. So changing that mindset towards what pressure is, not that it shouldn't be there, but it's a privilege and we have an opportunity in this situation, I think is vital and foremost. Second, I think is a lovely metaphor. Think about your life as a chair. You want it to balance. The chair has four legs. One of them is professional. One is emotional, your relationships really. Another one is physical, staying in good health. Another one, spiritual, being connected to something, however you define it, greater than the kind of the immediate. I think those who cultivate those four legs, if you like, create a more balanced place to sit through difficult times. They're connected to themselves and allows them to be better connected to other people. And that word connection, again, I think is vital. If we're connected to ourselves and connected with other people and connected to the stuff that matters, we will be able to suffer the slings and arrows of this outrageous fortune we've all been condemned to figure out and live through. I'm working on a follow-up to my book Legacy. It's called the Legacy Workbook. If legacy is about the kind of the what and the why of a high performance culture, the workbook is about the how. It's about how do we start to put that into action? How do we create the processes and the practices to define, design, and be able to deliver an outstanding high performance environment, both within our own lives, within our teams, and with a broader organization. So I'm aiming to have that finished this year, out very early next year.